All right, boom. So, Ja Morant, right? Looks like he's gonna whether it's during this season or in the off season, look like Ja Morant's out in Memphis. It just makes too much sense. Look, it's like here's what I gotta understand. When you don't, it's like I think reminds me of when Duke Dennis said, if you're not invited, don't ask." And it's like it's pretty much don't be somewhere where you're not wanted. And the same thing for Memphis. Don't have a player who doesn't want to be there. I don't care how good they are. If they don't want to be there, they have no value anymore. So John Morant doesn't want to be in Memphis. He doesn't like the new coach, and he didn't like the old coach. So I don't know. Maybe he just wants to be the coach. Maybe that'll be enough for him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's going to take, but I think now look, that is a concern for me because you've blown through two coaches down in Memphis that you don't like. So what is that? What is it going to take for you to find like what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? What do you look? What is it? Why are you not meshing with these coaches? But if I'm a team, I'm taking it. I'm gonna go get John Morant, and I'm looking at teams like Minnesota, all right? And the big thing for Minnesota right now is that's a big issue right now with Ant's having to play that because Minnesota doesn't have a high level point doesn't actually have a point guard on the roster that they could trust. They're having to play Ant at point guard, that's not his position. That's not where his position. That's not his natural position. That's not where he's best suited. And it's hurting him as a player. And so that's a big issue in Minnesota. And on top of that, when you look at and then another thing I like too is Houston. I think if I'm Houston, I'm looking maybe to flip it to Men Thompson. Uh, I like that if I'm Houston. If I'm Houston, I'm looking to flip him. I'm looking at John Morant and Trey Young. And I'm looking at a Men Thompson to be a key piece in either one of those deals. I love Men Thompson. I get he can jump and he can defend, but man, he don't got a jump shot. Not one that I trust. Especially not come playoff time. And he's not the scorer that John Morant and Trey Young are, and probably will never be. I think I don't think we know what Amen Thompson is elite defender, but in that kind of stuff can rebound, can jump, can run in transition, fast break, but he's not that scorer that John Moran is. He's not the scorer that Trey Young is. And if you're struggling right now, regular season with that high level ability, I don't want to see you in the playoffs when defenses are really going to be keen on you for multiple series. So, on the Rockets, I'm looking to flip him, Thompson. We see what he is. He ain't. Y'all want to make him out like you got to have a jump shot at the end of the day in this era, and he doesn't. And so I'm thinking about flipping him for a Ja or a Trey Young if I'm the Rockets. And then Minnesota, I think is another good spot. Minnesota is desperate for a point guard. They don't have one, and they need one. So that's why I'm looking if I'm the, if the Grizzlies or at least for Ja. Other thing I'm thinking about for Ja. Another thing I'll mention too is somebody I've liked too for Minnesota is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I truly believe, and I know that Giannis is wasting his time in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's not going to win jack crap in the East. And they're not. They're not. Well, I should say this: the East is pathetic. But so maybe he can win something, but he's not going to win an NBA championship with the Bucks. Let's just be real. So like I think, well, Giannis is wasting his time. And I really believe that. I really believe Giannis is wasting his time in Milwaukee, and they're wasting a truly great player. And let me tell you something too. Doc Rivers, I mean, bro, like do we have to go over? He's not a big game coach, bro. He's not a playoff coach. We'd have to go over so many times. He's not a coach that's going to show up in the playoffs. Like it is what it is. So he's wasting his time with Doc Rivers. That was a horrible hire. Yeah, that was an F plus for me in terms of expectations. And I think a team like Minnesota would make a lot of sense for Giannis, pairing him and Ant together. And I hope that Milwaukee trades him. He needs to be on the way out in Milwaukee. He's wasting his time and his career in Milwaukee. So, yeah.